Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bucked Up Podcast. If you wouldn't mind just hitting the subscribe button, like, sharing the video, we have new episodes coming out every Monday and Thursday. Enjoy.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up.
We're talking about going up to Maine to Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Shout out everyone there, Chris Tash. And we were talking about how you weren't excited about it, but
It's funny that people were you were telling me before that people were reporting back to you. Like just in the FYI, Trevor's not exactly pumped.
to be fair, you don't partake in substances like the rest of the comedians on the bill.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of. I don't know. I'm never gonna. I'm not. I don't want to be the fat guy on cocaine. Like I don't want to be that guy who's like, I'm going to die in 2 years. I don't want to be Chris Farleying it up a little bit.
I never want to do coke. Like I don't even like how a cup of like green tea makes me feel. So I don't know how.
Every time someone suggests me drugs, and I'm like, buddy, if I drink too much Diet Coke, I get anxiety. Like I get anxious, and I feel like shit. Like I feel like I don't feel like real shit, but I get like a paranoia and I start going down a tunnel of this shit. It's not fun. So imagining doing harder shit, it's probably not going to be the greatest.
But that was a fantastic weekend. Like I went there Friday and I was kind of worried about what it was going to be because I got there early and it was just kind of in like a backyard and then it turned out that everyone there was the nicest person ever.
Yeah.
And they really liked comedy, which was so like when the show happened, it was really cool.
That was the thing. Like, even though it was a little bit of yelling in a field, to people who are just coming out or going into a drug thing. It was fun. I had fun on stage and off stage, and I was on barely anything compared to everyone else. Like I was just like, it's just fun to watch. You're like, it's just fun to watch you people do things.
It was one of those moments where you look back and you're like, this is going to be such a fantastic memory.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of comedy. And it's funny because if people weren't there and weren't a comedian, but then saw it, they might be like, what the fuck was happening?
Yeah.
But in the moment, that was like one of my favorite shows just because of all the circumstances that led up to it and what happened during the show, which you were the most sober one there.
I was.
We all took mushrooms, drank a little bit, smoked some weed. You drank a lot. Yeah, you took a Casamigos shot. We're not sponsored by him, but you took it like a champ.
Yeah,
But can you describe what happened during the show when the cops arrived? We're in a town, New Portland, which I was told has no cops.
Well, they challenged you there. They were like, we found the cop.
They came from the next town over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was how bad it was?
No. Oh, so were you just like,
I was just kind of I knew a little bit. I
thought because you were the most sober one that you could tell.
Oh, I can tell you what kind of happened that made me, it was just so funny.
All right.
Like,
I want to hear what you think happened, and then I heard it afterwards what happened.
Well, like, I was guessing, like, I don't know, someone must have complaints, even though I don't know how the fuck someone was. I mean, it was dark when I got there, but like, I don't know how anyone could have complained about stand-up comedy. It's one person yelling in a field. You can't barely hear it if you're even near the stage. So I don't know how anyone complained. But anyway, someone complained about the stand-up. The cop showed up. And then this nice, I'm guessing she's a nice old lady. I'm guessing she owned the place. She came out and she was just like, fuck this. She was so angry with everything and everyone. She's like, I'm going to fucking talk to these people, motherfuckers. And Mike was in the way. He's like, get the fuck out of my way. Mike Fahey, my friend, he was just like, get the fuck. And she just like talked to them and then they left. And I was like, yeah, I would be scared too. She was terrifying.
So during the comedy show, the cops come up and I'm yelling about people doing drugs in the field and the cops show up. And this is what I find out later. They just came by to say they did it.
Oh,
they
really?
They really didn't give a shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So then they left and the comedy show kept going on. Thatcher went up. Shout out Thatcher Wood, past guest.
I had one of my favorite experiences with Thatcher in that night, and it's gonna warm my heart every time I think about it. I actually just retold that story today to Mike because he forgets his story. Do you want to hear the story?
Yeah.
It's a quick
And
interaction.
scoot in a little bit.
It's a quick interaction. I looked at Thatcher and he's just like, he's getting ready for his set. And I'm like, man, you got a lot of anger in you, buddy. And he was like, nah, man, I'm chill. I was like, nope, you got a lot of anger in you. He was like, yeah, I do. How do you could tell? It's like, it's in your eyes. You're terrifying.
You are one of the nicest people I know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
Because you deal with a lot of shit.
I have a very high tolerance for assholery.
You got really sad when you said you've been doing comedy 8 years before.
It's been a long time.
I know, but that's the most sad I've seen you.
Nah, I've been sad.
Do you get sad on your own?
Yeah, I've been arguing. I've been fighting with some sadness lately, but it's not a big deal. I'm dealing with it.
What do you do? Like,
I don't know. It depends on the type of sadness, but I just like, I don't know. I deal with it when it bursts. It comes in bursts. So if I'm like, I won't be sad all day. Like I'll have like a moment of sadness at most of the time at night. That's where I'm like, all right, I'm feeling bummed out about something. And I'm like, well, I'll just deal with it. And then I just sit in it and maybe I'll watch TV. Maybe I'll just think about it, try to analyze it, think it over, chew on it, and then I'll get through it.
I've been feeling sad too recently. And like, not that I love this podcasting. I love comedy. I'll never give up, but 8 years in is a long time. Like, and what do you like?
Well, here's the thing. I started when I was a dumb fucking 19-year-old, and I didn't know what I was doing at any sense of the word. I didn't know what I was doing at all. There was no guidance because there was not many comics in the area. So I just kept on just going to mics and just keep on doing the same shit. And like the only regret I have is just not expanding my horizons. And it mainly because I didn't have a lot of money to drive everywhere. But I wish I like worked harder to get more money and stuff and travel, because I think I would have done a lot of good shit in Boston if I did that. Like if I drove to Boston more and drove outside of my area, I probably would have been a funnier comedian faster. Like I wasted my first 2 years basically just doing same places, not the same jokes, but the same places. And I'm finally like consider myself an okay comic. Like, and that took a long time to get like where I think I'm like, okay, like I'm not the best, I'm not great, but I'm like, I have jokes and I am confident that they work. And it took a long time to get to that point.
But you said you're finally at that point.
I'm at that point. Here's the thing.
What got you to that point? Like, do you just know?
I just like my.
Do you have like just a feeling inside, like I do, like a lot, that it's just like this is it? I got to keep going. Like, was there any time that you
about
wavered?
Quitting comedy?
Yeah, like what did you ever waver? Is it because 8 years is a long time to be doing it?
It was weird in the beginning. That was funny. That the wavering was in the beginning because my first 6 months I did a mic a month, or maybe one or two, because I didn't have a car. I had to borrow a car and I had to buy. I didn't have a job, but I would drive my mom's car to an open mic, or they would go with me to an open mic. My mom and my brother like heard about my jacking off joke at the time.
Was that your first joke?
It is my first joke. My first joke was about like walking into a room and not knowing where your brother jerked off and what they touched. Yeah, it's a funny premise. It's actually a reasonably funny premise as a kid. Like you're just like, oh, what's that? That thing looks new. Like you just become a detective.
I think about that, like my first bit. It's like it brings a smile to my face.
It's not a bad bit. It's not a bad premise. Maybe it was a bad bit of time, but it wasn't a bad premise.
But if it took you 8 years to finally be like, I am proud of my comedy, like what kept you pushing? That's why I ask about the sadness and stuff.
I'm sad. Here's the thing. I'm not sad about comedy. Right now, relatively speaking, I am the most successful I've been in comedy. I have the most bookings. It's not crazy. I'm not on fire, but I got the Comedy Studio Saturday. Which has been something I've been like fighting for like since I started going to the Comedy Studio. So it's like achievement recently. I've been doing a lot of shows. I've been relatively booked even outside of my own shows. Like not crazy, but I got a decent amount of stuff. Like comedy is fine. Everything else kind of sucks. Like comedy's doing all right, but I'm not having a lot of fun in other categories of my life.
No.
Do
you not have do you have things? I feel like sometimes comedy does get like,
I mean, that's my whole thing. It's weird to say that because you're like, what could I have me talking about? I don't know. It's just a lot of things, but mostly it's just not. Comedy is most of my life, but there are other things. I will say it's women related. I won't tell you what it is, but I'll tell you it's women related.
That makes you sad?
Yeah, it's making me miserable a little bit. No one listened to this podcast.
Do you not want to talk about it?
I don't. I've been talking about it nonstop, and it's not a fun subject to talk about for me personally, because I've been overanalyzing it. Let's just say a girl is taking up a lot of real estate of my brain, and it's not fun to have that happen, and especially when you're not sure if they even like you. And
you've never. How personal can we get on this podcast?
You can say what you're gonna say.
All right. So you've never had sex?
Yeah.
And that's so there's a couple, you hold it well, and you usually aren't like afraid to talk about, so that's why
I'm fine with it. I don't want to talk about it on stage. I used to, but I got Oz and fuck Oz. Fuck Oz.
That is, that's
don't
the worst when
me.
the audience feels worse.
Go
like
home.
When they feel bad for you.
They come here for a pity party. They came here for laughs. If you don't want to do that, leave. I don't know.
That must suck when shit is happening now, because like I feel like you're pretty good with it normally.
Yeah, it's fine. I have no problem with it. It's not like I'm not gonna be one of those assholes who's like it's by choice. But it's not like
don't call anyone out.
It's not, or by not choice. Like it's like it's a little bit of both. I've had options to have sex, not often, but enough where I was like, I'm good. I didn't want it because I don't like you. That's basically been. I don't need to be in love with the person to have sex with someone, but I do need to like the person to have sex.
I get that.
Like I don't love is unrealistic, but I also have a very weird. I'm very likable. I'm not really very likable. That sounds douchey. I'm easily like people, but it's hard for me to like someone for a long term. like someone enough, that person, you know.
Because you haven't had sex, do you not think about it as much, or do you think about it a lot? Because I feel like I think about it a lot, and sometimes it leads me instead of like other things, and that might be a detriment to me.
Fun fact, I just got my testosterone checked. I was been calling it T, but I've been kept being called a douchebag because you can't call testosterone.
Who calls you a douche? This is the second time in like 5 minutes. You're like, I don't want to be who's calling you a douchebag?
I think Mark Anthony made fun of me for calling it T. He didn't call me a douchebag. He was like, T, really? What are you, a bro? And I was like, it's testosterone. Fine.
I'm sad for Mark Anthony that he thinks you're a bro.
He would be hilarious if he thought I was a bro. He was just making me fun of for a bro term. And be honest, I got that term from Mike Fahey. Go listen to that episode.
All right. So you got your testosterone.
Yeah. And I actually have the testosterone of a 65-year-old man. And I'm on pills now. So eventually we'll get those numbers bumped up. But I might get 417, which is 100 points under the person, at least the minimum for a 26-year-old. Like it's not legally below it's not in the danger zone of testosterone, but it's like,
are you worried this is going to affect your comedy now that you just want to fuck all the time?
Hell yeah. I'm just going to go up there like, I'm going to fuck.
You're just going to walk up on stage rock hard.
Hell yeah.
Every time.
Just with my dick out. Just be like, who wants?
Don't do that. You'll get canceled.
Well, I mean, I'll be like, I have such a good dick that I'll win them over. I'm like I'm that good at comedy.
No, but like... If it doesn't, because you hit more mics and shows than a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
Yeah, but you with low testosterone, you probably don't think about it a lot.
I think about it a little bit. Like I just said, I had a girl problem. So it's not like I have no interest, but it is a low amount of interest. I also have It's also like if someone annoys me, it's definitely a turn off to even slightly.
Dude, getting a crush after the age of 12.
It does feel like you're a fucking dummy.
It feels like that's not how like a crush. Like we were talking about this in Maine.
Oh yeah, we did.
You were like, you come up to, he's like, so Thatcher told me you had a crush, and to be fair, we're all tripping, so it makes these. Like,
it was funny in the moment.
In the moment, I was laughing so hard because it just took me back to like 8th grade.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about comedy, and just sometimes in just general, you do go back to those high school, middle school years, especially in comedy. Everything feels a little childish in comedy because you're a room full of people who are kind of childish.
But that was the funniest fucking thing.
I just wanted to be like, hey, buddy.
But having a crush is dumb.
Yes. It's fucking dumb. It's the stupidest thing you can do.
You know what I've been thinking about lately? Like how to, like we're comedians and that's what I want to do. And that's like what I love. But how do people get like a business started? Like, how is that like a thing that someone wants to do?
Something along the lines of like, well,
like when I see like a Hannaford.
Well, it depends. Like, I think there's two types of business owners. There's the people who found a niche, and then there's people who like something, and then they were like, I can make a business out of this. Like they're like, I really like pizza. I really like making pizza. I'll make a pizzeria. And then there's some people who are like, oh, I know this. They need shipping for this. And I can make a lot of money here. I'm going to do shipping for this. It's like, it's all about like what the motive, it's all motives. It's like I want to make money. How do I want to make money? Whichever way makes me the most happy or the most money.
It's funny. That's like you and Mike.
What do you mean?
Mike is good at like the Mike Fahey, shout out past guest.
Yeah.
But like you hit the mics and you like do the art, and he's good at like the shipping and the handling.
Yeah,
like,
yes. He's good at shipping and handling, and I'm good at like managing the artists. And that's the thing. Yeah. And Brianna's good at the art. I don't do art. I fucking awful at art. It's one of the things I'm like, when someone's good at some other form of art, I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm barely good at comedy, and you're over here like painting shit. Eat a dick.
When did you want it? Like, when did you know you were a comedian?
No one. I don't like this answer, but it's the truth. I watched a special on Netflix. The Louis C.K. specials, the Chewed Up and the Hilarious. I know he's a sensitive topic for some, but he like, I was like, oh, comedy isn't all Seinfeld. You could be kind of gross, and then I was like, oh, that's me.
Were you like did you have an inappropriate sense of humor?
No, that's the weird thing. Like, and what
were you like as a child?
I was innocent and goofy. I was I was full on child. Like, and I was never like, I never went through that phase. The closest I ever got to that phase was like occasionally I watched a PG-13 movie. Like my mom was pretty good at sheltering me from most shit. And I think in a good way for the most part. I mean, I would like to play a fucking M-rated game. I mean, I still can. I can now. That made it sound like I'm still sheltered. Like I play Grand Theft Auto all the time. I killed the prostitutes. I do it. I'm like, come over here, prostitute. Let me kill you.
That sounds even more childish.
It does sound it. But like, I was pretty sheltered as a kid. I didn't have like here's the thing. Like, I didn't grow a sense of humor until high school. Like, I was not I wasn't like a boring person. I was just never funny. I was just kind of like goofy, and I didn't grow a sense of humor or like a comedy, any sensibilities of comedy until high school.
I think that's true. My grandma met one of my ex-girlfriends, and she goes, I can't believe he wants to be a comedian. He was never funny.
Oh yeah. No one thinks you're funny. Here's the thing, and I think this is totally true. Usually you're like funniest person in class in like high school or middle school or whatever is never going to become the comedian. It's always the second or third person who's like quiet. The quiet people are usually the funniest.
So you listen to all the Louis C.K. and you're like, that
was my realization. Cause like basically as far as I knew Seinfeld, so I would watch Seinfeld.
How old were you when you found Louis?
18.
You did comedy at 19.
Yes. It took me a year. I Googled comedy advice for 6 months. Just kept on Googling it every day.
What was your first joke?
It was the masturbation joke. It's like,
About your brother touching things.
Yeah. That was one of my.
How'd it go?
It was that bit. Like, here's the thing.
How'd your first set go?
Oh, bad. It was a pub on Park, and it was loud and no one was listening. But honestly, I liked that. I preferred that. I memorized my lines perfectly, and I said them perfectly, but no one was listening.
That is actually, I feel like that going up when I started comedy, I would go to mics that were like mixed open mics,
Yes,
and
people
ones
did that a
that
lot.
didn't, like on Cape, where people didn't want to hear comedy. They didn't expect it. There wasn't even supposed to be comedy. And I like that trained me to be good for no matter what the situation, because no club is going to be as bad as like when a woman threw a drink at me. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the weird thing about me. Well, I guess it's not too weird. I was like a little edgy, a little edgelord, not a big edgelord, but I had a little bit edgelord in me as a beginner comic. It just didn't match who I am because I'm not really that edgy of a person. So when I evolved, I about 2 years of me doing that shit, and then I went to like harder subjects like having CP, which I have cerebral palsy. It's mild. Don't in the comments tell me I'm a liar. People do that. People
like, you don't have that.
Yeah, that happens. That happened at shows. That happens at shows all the time. They were like, "Hey, man, is that CP thing real?" Nah, I get it. It's a goof.
How does it form? And like, I don't know much about
cerebral palsy. If I had to explain it in the best way I could, I might be wrong, and someone will comment I'm wrong.
I like that you think my listeners know that much about medicine.
Shit. They just Google it. It's like, fucking liar. You don't know shit. Suck a dick. And I'm like, this is what I heard, man. There's a judge.
Who do you think is listening to this
monsters?
Podcast?
All monsters. You have I have no idea who's listening. People will like rap. And like, this guy's a bit of a bitch, and I'm like, yeah, I am a little bit of a bitch. Anyway, people would say I'm a liar, and like CP, if I had to explain it, it's like if a computer wires were a little longer. Like it takes a little longer to get there. And it's honestly physically, I basically knocked it out of me through physical therapy, but I'm still pretty clumsy. But it's part of that is.
How old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was like 10. They honestly still kind of are guessing. I think. I don't think they're 100% sure, but they're like, this is the closest you're going to get to a diagnosis. So I was like,
the Dion disease. Mild, you created your own fucking disease. Not disease.
Yeah. Fucking call it whatever the fuck you want to call it.
You're a sick man, Trevor.
I'm a disease. The Dion disease.
You take a lot of shit well. Like at roasts, like in roast circles. Were you like,
I was just I think I know the question. You can finish if you like, but I think I know.
Were you bullied? Like,
no, I was never. I was barely bullied. I was bullied by my friends, ironically, which is not.
No,
really
that's the same. Yeah,
hardball bus thing. And
I think I was only bullied once, really, in my whole life, and it wasn't even that
well, that's
bad.
the thing between you and me, man. We're big guys.
Yeah, no one's gonna.
I was also 6'2" and also 300 to 400 pounds at any point in my life.
What was the heaviest?
400. I was probably honestly.
What are you at now?
I'm at 300, 3 something, 310. But yeah, so I was always a big kid, so no one really bothered me. Only my friends would bother me. And honestly, if you want to know why I don't get bothered by roasts, do you want to know what goes through my head?
Yeah.
It's the Big J Okeson's kind of mentality of like when someone's like, if someone calls you like, hey, your mom's a whore, sucks a million dicks. He's like, sure, mom's sucking a million dicks. He can say that, but I know she's not. She's making pie at home. She's a pie maker. Like, yeah. So like when someone makes fun of me, I'm like, I don't know, man. It's whatever you're thinking, I guess. Whatever floats your boat. But
yeah, I get like when people hate on the podcast or something, it's like no one has ever said something that I haven't already thought. It's kind of a different mentality for me. It's like, I've already thought that about myself.
That
Like,
helps too.
You think like you're not creative.
Here's
like-
the thing. I know I'm pretty good at acknowledging my faults.
But I'm not good at roasting. I did a roast against Alan Fitzgerald. You can watch it on Comedy Fight Club. It was the Andy Malafarina versus Tom Myers episode. And I bombed it. I did not do well.
I did a roast with Mike Fahey recently, and I was like a mess. Like I was like, he didn't. We both sucked. So it wasn't like I was getting my ass kicked. It was just both like fucking bombing at jokes in front of no one in my defense. But I was like, I wrote jokes and they were like bad. And I was like, I'm not good at roasting because here's the thing. I can occasionally get a punch in, but like I hug. I don't want to be mean. I also feel bad immediately. I want to apologize. Like it's not on few roasts, but like, here's the thing. And it also, there is a little myth. There's one area in life. Well, there's one area in roasting where I'm good at. If I like you, but I'm also kind of bothered by you, that's where my brain.
And why did you bomb with Mike?
I hate him. Fucking hate him.
So you can't roast him.
Yeah, no, I just can't stand the man.
That's why I don't. You guys do have like a partnership.
Yes.
Do you have siblings?
I do.
Oh yeah, you have a brother.
do have a
that
brother.
jerks off.
I mean, yeah, I guess I don't know his life, but yeah, that was a bit. Honestly, I don't remember calling him jacking off. Thank God.
You don't think your brother's ever jerked off in his whole life?
I honestly don't know, and I don't want to know. Like, I want to keep that as a mystery. Let's keep it a mystery, guys.
Hey, if you're listening, what's your brother's name?
Brian
Dion. Let me know if you masturbate.
Yeah, give Sam Buck an update. Let him know when
At
you're doing
Sam
it.
C. Buck on Instagram.
Yeah, message him. Let him know he's doing it. Let him know you're doing it. But what was your point?
I don't even remember. What the fuck were we talking
I don't know.
about?
We just got off a tangent about my brother jerking off.
This is a real problem. This is why I can't
It was
do.
basically roast.
About not being able to do
not
roasts.
being good at roasts.
And going against Alan Fitzgerald, which that's someone. All right, so he's been doing it 10 years, and like going against him, he was booked on the first. You booked me on my first show.
I did. But,
what was the name of that place?
AJ's Bar and Grill.
Oh.
Fucking dumpster fire.
Oh my! So this is my first show ever, like real show, and Trevor books me for AJ's Bar and Grill in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I walk up, a guy's riding a bike. He pulls up. He goes, "I'm not even gonna lock this up. I hope someone steals it." Gives me a reason to kill someone tonight.
Jesus.
The first thing I hear at my first show ever. Walk in, doesn't go any better after
No,
that.
it doesn't. I've had two funny things happen at that bar. That might be the same show you're talking about, because I was outside. We were all chatting. I don't know if you might have been there for that. We were all chatting. Someone grabbed my ass. A dude with
show.
like 3 or 4 fingers grabbed my ass. He was like, "You're big and sexy." And I was like, "Okay, thanks for that." I don't remember what I said, but I was like, "All right, cool." It's not like I wasn't even a.
That was the same show that the guy was leaving. He goes, "I'm going to go smoke crack."
Did he?
A guy
I like to
during
think
my
he
set.
did.
I don't know if it was the same guy, but a guy during my set left and yelled that.
And then he grabbed my ass and called me a toots.
Like it's the 50s.
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing here, doll face? And I'm like, I'm 26 and I'm gross. That's what I'm doing. I'm 26 and I'm a big guy. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah. So that happened. And then I get in. So Mike parked my car, right? Another car related story. I parked my car. And then we did our show. And then I went in and I was like, I'm going to drive it up front to make the putting away shit easier. And then I go in and I get caught in a conversation. I come out, someone's sleeping in my car. Someone's sleeping in the front wheel and he's sleeping. And like, I'm still a little innocent and a little goofy. So I'm looking at him and I was like, is this not my car? I swear I put my car here. Like, I was so convinced that was like,
I can't believe he didn't steal it.
there was no keys.
He just got in
It
and
just
fell
was
asleep.
like, he just needed someone to nap and my door was open.
Did you wake him up?
Yeah, I was like, hey, buddy, I gotta go. Like, I wasn't even like pissed. I was just like, I know it's rough out there, but I can't sleep in my car, dude. I don't even know if he was drunk out of his ass, and he wasn't from the bar. He just came from somewhere else drunk and found my car.
In Maine, I almost hooked up with a homeless girl.
That sounds about right. That tracks.
And I didn't.
Why not?
I can't hook up with a homeless girl.
You got a place. You should have brought it to the room so we could make fun of you for it.
Would you hook up with a homeless girl?
No. I wouldn't. At least not in that field.
That's even she was a pretty attractive. She was pretty attractive.
Most homeless people, I mean, not all most homeless people, but there is a section of homeless people that people don't understand are hot as fuck.
To you?
No, just in general.
No.
Dude, I know people who've dated homeless people. They're just some people who just sometimes
you can't date a homeless person and
challenge
have
accepted
a home.
For some people.
Who do you know?
You know the person I'm talking about. You are good friends with
Have
them.
they been a guest on this podcast?
No, but they are good friends with you.
Who is it?
Do you want me to say
yeah,
names?
I want to say names.
It's Dan. Dan dated a homeless person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm so glad I didn't hook up with that homeless girl. Because that's like when you go up to heaven, that's a notch in the wrong direction. Or is it in the right? All right. Do you think hooking up with a homeless girl gives you into heaven or gets you into hell?
You're really shitting on homeless people. They're just sometimes people just don't have homes, man. Some people just don't have just in between places.
All right, I don't give a shit about your humanitarian feelings right now. I'm asking you a question. When you go up to heaven, say you fucked a homeless person. You go up to heaven. Is God happy with you or not happy? Oh,
he's excited, man. He's like, oh, you did them a solid.
Damn it! I wish I hooked up with the homeless person.
Yeah, man, you would have done great.
I was like, where are you gonna stay?
It's not like you're gonna go you're leaving. You're not coming back.
Yeah, but it's like
also
it's like feeding a squirrel. I don't know what diseases they have.
Jesus, dude. What do you think homeless people are? Fucking rats? Like you're fucking...
No, I said squirrels. I said squirrels.
To be honest, dude, everyone there I wouldn't fuck because it smelled like diseases. Like
that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna.
But I'm not saying just like if you just found like a regular chick who's like homeless, it's not like judging her. They've been on a 3-day drug binge. Maybe it's not the best.
I just feel like homeless pussy isn't the cleanest.
Wash them.
Wash them?
Yeah, like Jesus.
Wait, like
you want to get to heaven?
It's an animal you found on this tree. Like I'm gonna have to get him in the bath.
Jesus washed Mary's feet. I'm not religious. I just think this is a funny thing to say. Jesus washed Mary's feet. You could watch.
That was his mom.
I was a prostitute. I thought. No, he washed the prostitute's feet.
Isn't Mary Jesus' mom? The Virgin Mary, yeah.
Yes, it is. I made the wrong name. I'm not religious. Everyone in the book is named Mary or Jesus.
So I just couldn't do it, especially while I was tripping. Like I couldn't hook up with a homeless girl. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I might be too picky.
You're a little biased.
People might call me picky, but I can't put.
I think you should fuck whoever you like. Were they hot?
It's pretty attractive.
Were they like on board with fucking?
I thought hot girls got free housing.
Like it's a social program.
Yeah, like I thought like if you were over a 7, like the government just gave you an allotted amount for an apartment at the end of the month.
Well, here's the thing. Like I think if you're attractive enough, you can just find free home housing. Like
I guess not
consistently. Just like, oh, I'll sleep at that guy's place. Oh, I'll sleep at that guy's place, and it's not even. They don't even.
See,
fuck.
I'm not gonna.
I'm not even calling them a whore. I'm saying like, if a hot chick goes up to a dude who's like, "Let me live with you," they're gonna be like, "Sure," because you're just hopeful.
See, I'm not gonna like fuck for a place. Like, I don't want her to be like, I gotta fuck this dude to sleep tonight.
You think that was why she was gonna fuck you? for housing.
No,
Were you the housing program the government's putting in? And it's instead of taxes, they have to fuck Sam Buck.
that would be a
you
horrible.
know what? I'm gonna be
would be a horrible government.
I'm gonna be
program.
a houseless, homeless motherfucker if that becomes the case.
That would be a horrible government. I feel like that would be a good way to get kids that are like losers.
Listen, if you don't get your act up, you get those grades up, you're gonna stop fucking Sam Buck for housing.
No,
the second you turn 18, you're out the door and fucking Sam Buck if you want to live anywhere.
I'm out, and that's why I'm out. I pull out the idea. At first, I was, but there would be. It's like gynecologists. Like I would have friends.
I'm sorry, I stopped. You need to explain your point.
I had friends that were like, oh, it'd be so cool to be a gynecologist looking at pussy all day, bro. And I'd be like, yeah, but you have to see the grossest ones too.
Well, the sick ones, or at least not, also the pregnant ones.
I don't.
That's not a bad thing. Pregnant people, give me. What's
Do you
up?
have a pregnant fetish?
That would be so weird. Imagine that's why I
the girls who hook up with you do.
I got the belly for it. I'm in constant 8 months. I'm at a constant 8 months pregnancy.
All right. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You can roll.
You got fat.
Everybody love everybody.
But no, that would be a horrible job. It would be a horrible job to be a straight gynecologist.
What's wrong? They're just vaginas, man. You know, just fucking look at them and they're like, yeah, that's a good vagina. That's all that their job is.
Yeah, but imagine if it's all like,
I guess if you're a really horny dude, I wouldn't recommend the profession. If you're just like always like fucking just, I want to fuck something, you have to look at a vagina. Yeah, probably
do you
not
like
your job
look
for
at?
you.
No, because I look at like I have this cut off. I fell on my bike. I fell on my bike on the rail trail. And whenever I have to say that, because whenever I say I fell on my bike, people are like, oh, do you mean like motorcycle? Are you cool? And I'm like, no, my bicycle.
My bicycle.
On the rail trail.
I was going to the ice cream store.
I was riding my bicycle and I fell. And my hand is so gross now that I have to like.
Oh, that spot right there?
Yeah, I'm not going to show people, but it's nasty as fuck. And it makes people sick looking at it.
I probably wouldn't be bothered by it.
So just imagine a scabby pussy.
Hey, man. Tough. Everyone has a tough day at work. Sometimes you look at good vaginas. Sometimes you look at bad vaginas. It's the job.
I think that's one of the worst. Also,
for a straight dude?
Yeah, that's one of the worst jobs for a straight dude.
I mean, the doctor has to look at a broken bone and like it's going to be spurting and it's probably all like there are like gross ass things in all levels of the medical profession.
All right, so say
sorry if I'm ruining.
No. So say you love Burger King.
Hypothetically,
no, you love Burger King.
Love Burger King. It's fucking.
You know,
disgusting.
I've gone to Burger King like 2 times the past month. Not happy with it.
It's not good. You think I was going to defend it? Think I'm going to defend Burger King? It's fucking gross. My whole jokes are about how bad that place is at being a business.
But I'm just saying,
it's fucking a cartoon land.
You love Burger King.
I do.
So say you were working at Burger King.
Ugh. Sure. Just imagine. It's a nightmare.
And you see the disgusting things that go on at Burger King.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to eat at Burger King anymore.
You're talking to the wrong man here. I already know that place is disgusting. It's gross.
Yeah, but when you see it, all right. I had a friend who worked at a place on Cape Cod.
Call them out.
Bremer House of Pizza. That's the name. And she once found a Band-Aid in the marinara sauce there. And she told the owner, and they're like, we can't get rid of this marinara sauce. So they just threw the Band-Aid away and kept using it.
Gross.
I would never go back there.
But here's the reality.
After I heard that story.
Here's the reality, man. Every fucking restaurant is fucking gross at some fucking point.
I've worked at restaurants that aren't that gross. If there's a Band-Aid in the marinara.
That's pretty bad. I'll admit that's pretty bad.
That's a gross pussy at the gynecologist. I can't yell that because there's children upstairs. Shout out practicing talking studios. The fucking Mike Fahey's children are upstairs. I can't be talking about pussies.
Well, here you are doing
But
it.
here I'm doing it. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, I wouldn't be able to have that job. That's the worst job for straight men.
I mean, it depends on the kind of straight man. I could see someone really hating, like, you know, like you're like a fluffer. You gotta touch dicks.
That's not a straight guy. Who's so what straight guy?
I'm a poor ass bitch.
Is
Someone call me, guys.
Desperate for a job that he's like, I could work at Subway for minimum wage, or I could jerk dudes off before they fuck chicks. You would take that job before Subway?
I bet Subway, if you want to talk about a place, I bet had the back of it's a nightmare. I feel like that place
Of a Subway?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you want to know?
Not giving a fuck.
I go to so I drive to New York a lot, as you know. And when you go to New York, you know the rest stops on the side have what? Dunkin' Donuts?
In the Subways, yeah.
And I've eaten at those Subways. Those are probably the dirtiest Subways in the whole world.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. They're like, you don't have a choice here. This is this or nothing. You're on the road.
Germs are like pretty much we're over scared of them because we don't really think about like how germy. Like, I was thinking about cans the other day, how nasty the top of cans actually are. Like, everyone touches it. It's like,
yeah,
but then you put your mouth on it and you drink from it.
I've never been a germaphobe in any sense of the word. And I think that I've lived my life through that. And that's probably why I'm single. But I've never been a germ. Honestly, I've always went through the logic, and it might be a childlike logic of like, you want to not be the cleanest. Honestly, being very clean makes you so when you get sick hard. And that's true, actually.
Can you just turn to the camera as you say that?
Clean gets you hard.
No, that
I say?
That the dirty you are, the clean people are.
Clean people get the sickest usually because their body, their immune system is not ready.
You do look sickly. You understand the irony if you.
Not saying I'm the exception to the rule. I also always kind of look like shit. Thank you. Regardless,
you said you were on testosterone. Are you worried about hair loss with that?
I'm already getting hair loss without it, so it's going to be worth it without it. We're going to get my number to a normal number. I don't want a high. You don't want above 1,000, but I want to like at least. Hey, give me like an 800. Give me like a 6, 7. I'll take it. I'll take a 5. Really, give me a 5.
I don't know what these testosterone numbers mean.
It's honestly the number is 300 to 1,000, but I have 400, which is fine, kind of. Like legal, like technically I'm fine. Legally, technically I'm fine.
If your testosterone drops below that, they're coming to arrest you.
yeah, it's a real crime. But if you're on the 300, you're in a real problem. Like you have no ambition. I've been researching testosterone just because of it, and it's really connected to a lot of ambition. It's not all like masculine energy, like screaming or like there is like horniness connected to it, but it's not all just being raged or being a bro or whatever. So like Mike Fahey got his head hit. His testosterone was like 150, and he had no inhibition to even get out of his. I have a big ass head, so this thing is falling off.
You can adjust it.
Oh, really? Cool. There it is. It's actually working. I did it.
We're like fucking 40 minutes into this podcast.
I got a weird head, man. It's a lot of it. It's a big head. The only reason I don't get made fun of it because I have a big body that levels it out. But I do have a large ass head. What was my point? Oh, testosterone is like it's connected to ambition. Mike had no testosterone, so he had like 150 to like 0, and that means no ambition. So he had like no. He didn't even want to get out of his bed. I have like 300, which is 400, which is technically fine for a 65-year-old man. I'm the testosterone of a 65-year-old. So the doctor, funny enough, I had some really the funnier interaction with two of my doctors. One kept on saying, I have no, someone said, they were like, you have no chin. And I was like, I don't know. What's that got to do with anything? And he was like, well, you probably have sleep issues. So you're waking up, and that's actually your sleep and testosterone is connected, because your brain, I can make more of whatever the fuck the brain to make testosterone. But if my body's not accepting it because of sleep issues, then it's just.
Do you have insomnia?
I don't. That's the weird thing. I think I have a deviated septum, and I have a problem. And I also, like my doctor informed me, I have no chin.
That's so silly.
I think it's because he's just calling me fat. Like he's saying you look like you got no chin, you're fat. That's actually his 2 notes. He really hit hard. You're a fat motherfucker. Also, you got no chin.
He could have just. I wish he just said like one would be fine, but both are not good.
Yeah, he really hammered the chin thing too many times. But anyway, he was basically explaining like the reason why you need to we also need to get you a sleep study is because if you have sleep issues, that can be connected to your low T. So they need to fix both for me to even be like normal. So I hope it's not going to be a big difference between now and then.
Imagine if you just get ripped as shit.
Fuck yeah.
Ripped, Trevor.
Just fucking just big dude. I'm already a big dude. Mike is informing me that I am intimidating from I guess in a sense. I guess
so. Women under 5'8".
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. But he said I'm a 6'2", 300
What's your
pounds.
type in women?
What do you mean? Like in personality wise or physically?
Physically.
I actually have, it's a slow process with that. I've honestly, 26, you'd be surprised, but I honestly didn't know for the longest time. I like bigger women. I like thicker women, if you will. I like those types of women. That's all I like really hammered down. Like personality is really most of it, but I don't like thin women. Thin women honestly are the worst usually. Thin women, super thin women, like super attractive women. Like the part of me is like, you look intimidating, but you're not funny.
I'm going to save you right here. You can't call super thin women attractive women because there are attractive bigger people.
No, there is. There's plenty of. I'm attracted to bigger people, but I'm saying stereotypically attractive people. I'm attracted to thicker women. They are hot to me. Thin women are usually gross.
Thick women are hot.
It's all like relative speaking. It's all compared. It's taste. It's all taste in general society. Yes, thicker women.
As long as they're not homeless. That's called a callback, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not obviously I'm not talking about like me personally, because I exclusively find thicker women attractive.
All right, give me some more details.
That's it, man. That's
perfect
the problem.
Woman.
It's honestly mostly personality. Honestly.
What's the personality?
I like someone who has their shit together. And does that sound like a personality trait? It's like confidence. I
exclusively date women who are way more successful than me, and it makes me feel like I need to work hard.
I like that. That's really where it comes down. I like someone who's like, I feel like is going to make me better as a person. That's kind of the thing I want in a person. I'm not that. I'm okay. I honestly think I'm an okay guy. I'm not the most competent. And I think Mike has been telling me I act like a child, and I kind of do a little bit, but I do think if I got like a woman who's like honestly, I'm a pretty easygoing guy, so I can't have a woman who's easygoing. I need someone who's kind of bossy or kind of knows what they want, because I don't care what I have. Like I'm pretty easy. I'm the most easygoing person. I don't really care most of the time. I need someone else to care, because we can't have 2 people just being like, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. And then we die. Like I can't have that. I like someone who's takes charge, someone who's confident, someone who's like knows their shit, and like someone who like can just like knows what they want. So I don't have to think about, because I don't care what I want.
Could you ever date?
That sounds insane.
No, that sounds great. Okay. If you're that, hit Trevor Dion up at TNT.
Fuck yeah. They're not going to.
I don't think women listen to this podcast.
Exclusively people who like rap. And here I am.
No, I have comedy fans too. I have comedians on.
I know you do. I know you got some people who love comedy. What are you gonna say?
Could you ever date a comedian?
You know who says they can't? People who date comedians. Literally, almost everyone who's told me, I don't date comedians. 2, maybe 3 months later, they're dating a comedian.
Oh, you're saying, I thought you were saying they usually date comedians and they're like,
no, well, sometimes it ends badly. Most of the time it ends badly. But most people who say they won't date comedians will date a comedian eventually. And some people who don't know, they usually don't.
I'm going to be honest with you and with the listeners right now.
Oh, and funny. I want someone who's funny, or at least someone with a sense of humor. And honestly, there is a little bit.
So at least one person has it.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. You're a good buddy. And here's the weird thing about me, and I know this for a fact. I need someone who's not an easy laugh, but not the easiest laugh. Like I need someone in the middle. I don't know what it is, but like if someone laughs at everything, there's no fun in making someone laugh who laughs at everything. And then there's people who don't laugh, and I'm like, well, fuck, I have nothing. So I need someone who's like in the middle, who will laugh, but isn't like always laughing. You know what I'm saying?
A normal person?
Yes. There's not a lot of those around me. I attract weirdos.
I think this is not good, and I don't think I should fulfill this. But I realize
I love when a sentence starts like that.
I realize that I like female comedians. Like I like that personality trait.
Comedian?
Yeah.
I mean, they do come with a package.
And it's like shitty because it's like, I don't think that would work out.
Yeah. Probably not.
But it's such a shitty thing to like. I'm being honest. I probably shouldn't admit this, but like, I do like that is something I like. Like,
you like comedians?
Yeah,
it's reasonable. It's not a big deal. I don't shit. Like, listen, we're all like in the big scale of things, and I'm sure plenty of people have said something similar to this. It's just like, I don't know. We're all people. We're all in this world. It's a lonely fucking world. If you can find someone you like, go for it and see what happens. If it fails, it fails. Move the fuck on. But who cares who they do? Who cares what they do? As long as you're happy with that person and they're happy with you, it's the end of this conversation.
That's a beautiful sentiment.
Fuck horse. I need to ruin it. I don't like being too generous. I don't like being too sincere. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have so many fucking shows coming up.
I do have a lot of shows.
You're killing it.
We're doing good. Doing good. It's a little stressful because it's August. And it's not the greatest month for comedy. But we're gonna get to see.
We just did a show in front of 2 people last night.
What did we do?
China Gourmet.
Oh, that's right. Fucking metal. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Not going great sometimes. It was 4 people. Thank you. Actually, there was 6.
There was 2 when I was on stage.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. No, you started off first. There were 4 people in the corner.
Oh, one of them was a comedian.
Yeah, that's true. So 3, I guess.
And the couple.
Who were they? Who didn't want to be there for comedy?
Did you see they got up and moved to a table on the other side of the restaurant?
I didn't know that.
I'm sorry.
They were telling us they were leaving.
No, they just moved.
They just moved. That's okay. I didn't want them to be there. They were
heckling and shit.
They were heckling, but not even like a fun heckle. Like I was doing a setup to a joke and they were like trying to give me a punchline. I was like, that's a shitty punchline. Don't fucking tell me a bad punchline to one of my jokes.
I did 3. Sometimes comedy humbles you. I've been doing.
It always humbles you.
I've been doing all right.
Not you.
I've been having good. Yeah, 100%. It humbles me a lot. I've been doing all right on shows, and then I did 3 mics yesterday and bombed all 3.
Mics don't count.
I mean, I did your guest spot on your show.
Yeah, mics don't count. Doesn't matter. It literally is It is say words on stage. Get used to the tempo. Get used to saying it. So you don't fuck it up when the regular people are there. If there's regular people at the open mic, treat it like a show or treat it like a premium open mic where you can do jokes that you want to see if they work. But even then, it doesn't matter. There's no risk and there's no reward. You want respect from the other comedians? Who fucking cares what they think?
I don't know if I agree with that.
Open mics don't matter?
Yeah.
Why would you say they would? What's your argument for the alternative?
Because, all right, that's like go into any other profession. Practice matters. And
Yeah, it
that's
just means
practice.
it's about showing up. Yeah, practice. But here's the thing. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, but it's like batting cages. You didn't fucking strike out. You missed the ball.
I see.
Fucking nailed it.
I don't. No, but I do think open mics are important.
They
And
are.
I do think I don't like when people fuck around at open mics.
Here's
like
the
wasting
thing.
time.
Here's the thing, and there's a fascinating little middle ground there, in my opinion. I've never really expressed this out loud in a long time. But if you can fuck around and make people laugh on stage, regardless if it's comedians or not, part of me is jealous of that mentality. My mentality at open mics is just like write jokes. I mean, tell jokes I've written down. But there is that level of like, I need to kill mentality. And like the idea of like going to an open mic and having that mentality and being like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I need to get these people to laugh, even if they're comics. I kind of respect it. It also hurts you in the long run. Unless you're that certain type of comic who can manage that all the time with any audience, it hurts you because it makes you write for the comics, not writes for regular people.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. I thought you were saying that messing with the audience doesn't hurt you.
It can be. Well, then here's the thing. I respect those people in some ways when they do it right. There are some people who can go up there and fuck around and kill. And like,
but you should fuck around and then get into real material.
And an open mic, yes.
You should be able to get them on your side and then get the material across you wanted to get across. Yeah.
And I think I've always came from the mentality of writing is very important. And I came from a place where that wasn't it. I'm not going to I'm calling out the whole thing. Rhode Island comedies scene. I love all the comedians there. Most of them, about 65%. So
that's not all.
That's not all of them. That's math. But when I started, it was mostly the king was crowd work, and it's actually the king in a lot of places. It's a magical. If you're good at it, you can make you can do whatever the fuck you want. Really, to be honest, because if it's a secret bullet to most things. But for me, I always, even from the beginning, was like, I want jokes. I want to know these jokes work. I want to do these jokes and be confident in these jokes. I don't want to just bullshit around or make, because you can't record that. There's only so far you can get with crowd work in comedy. And I'm not saying that about anyone in particular. I'm saying in general, when it comes to comedy and respecting some other comedians, and which is something you should get.
Well, that's like Big J, who's probably one of the best crowd work comedians. He's also one of the best storytellers.
Yeah. Well, he's like transitions it perfectly where it just feels like he's talking.
Yeah.
And it's like brilliant. I'm not saying crowd work is a bad art or you shouldn't know it. You should. It's a very important art. I'm saying when it becomes your whole bag, and especially when you're just starting or you're not like 10 years in and you haven't written any jokes, you should be spending your first how many years it takes for you to write like 20 or 30 minutes jokes before you even start thinking about crowd work. And it's a talent, and you were like, I need to do it because it makes things easier. But like that's the problem. It makes things easier, and then you become complacent. You get it?
Yeah, no, totally. So, I agree. I felt like I've only recently started like really trying to do more of it, but it's because I felt comfortable enough in my material.
Sorry, I did listen to what you're saying, but then I was thinking about how the fact I'm on camera and I've been touching my balls, and I wonder how many times I've been grabbed in my balls.
So I really hope someone watches this podcast and does a ball count.
I honestly, that was all I was thinking about. And I know you don't do editing, but I'm just hearing the numbers on top. Ding, ding.
Ball.
Ding.
What's wrong with your balls?
Nothing's wrong with my balls. I'm just sitting weird, and I'm a weird person.
Are you sitting on your balls?
No, I'm fine. I'm fidgety.
I understand. I am too. I hate watching back the episodes with my leg in it because I can see it.
Do you watch your episodes back?
Yeah, I have to cut my clips.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I put work into my podcast.
I do too. I put work into my podcast.
Practicing talking.
Practicing talking.
Do you want to plug your shit?
Sure. Is this the end?
Yeah, we're coming to the end.
Practicing Production.
I get to do another dab with Mike Fahey.
Go to Practicing Productions Facebook page. If you want to listen to us talk nonsense, it's Practicing Talking. You can find that literally everywhere. Go to Practicing Productions if you want to go to a comedy show. We have comedy shows everywhere in New England. So if you're in a state, you're probably going to find a comedy show. And that's it. Also, TNTD on Instagram and Twitter. I like the song from AC/DC.
And if you want to fuck him,
hell yeah.
Slide in his DMs.
Fuck yeah.
Peace out, motherfuckers.
Fuck yeah.